Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports, back with Doc's Daily, Thursday, May 15th, 2025. And we got the boys back today, and they're from Arizona. Griffin just showed us this unbelievable view. Griffin, show them the view. This is a rough life, Griffin.
We're at Nick's pad right now. We're at Nick's pad. I'm not taking the cloud on this one. This one's Nick's.
Griffin and Nick living the high life on the golf course today. So hope everybody is enjoying themselves in Arizona. Let's make it a little extra winning day. Robert, how about you? He joins us today. We're going to have a big winning day. It's Preakness weekend. So for you that love the horses, Black Eyed Susan Day is Friday, which is like the girls' day, kind of like the Oaks Day for the Kentucky Derby. And then Saturday is the Preakness Stakes, which we do have. We don't have the Derby winner, but we do have the runner-up and the favorite for the Derby coming back. So, Nick, how did we do yesterday, and what do you have for tonight?
Yeah, yesterday we took a step back. We had the Toronto Maple Leafs, and man, I think they forgot they had a game there. Just a letdown game, 6-1, a butt whooping, ass whooping, whatever you want to call it. Won't dwell on it. We've been absolutely hot here as of late, so we're taking a step back, have one play on the ice, and then actually just one play on the baseball diamond later here tonight. So not a big card here for Thursday, but taking it back on the volume side of things, and tomorrow we'll have a big play in the NBA. So suiting up for the weekend and have a hot weekend and continue trying to stay hot here, Craig.
Well, for those of you that love playoff basketball and playoff hockey, this is probably the last night we're going to have two games, right? Most likely. There won't be any more two games for the NBA for sure because there's two teams already finished. But I think this will most likely be the last night for the NHL. So we'll see how it goes. Robert, how did you do yesterday, and what do you got for tonight?
This is going to shock everyone, but I actually had a winning day in the NBA yesterday. The goddamn miracle. I lost on the Celtics in game 4. You know, I've talked about this before in some of the videos that you and I have done, Craig. Like, if I lose a big play, I am always right back on that team in the next game. So I was just one game early with Boston. I knew that they had one ass whooping left to deliver in this series. And it was last night. But I hit with the overs for 6. I went 3-0. I actually won all 3 games for plus 1,100, plus 800 in MLB. So good day today. I'm passing in everything today. So you people watching Doc's Daily, you get all my winners for today. No rated picks across the board.
Griffin, it was like Christmas came early for Robert. It sounds like yesterday. But what do you have for today?
Christmas did not come early for me yesterday, Craig. It was it's been a brutal week. Let's just keep it how it is. Let's keep it simple. It's been a bad week for me. I have not been firing winners left and right by any means. But today I like the card, playing very small. Yesterday I did drop my soccer 8-unit game of the year. Absolutely ridiculous. LAFC puts up 4 over Seattle. Seattle can't score a damn goal the whole game. And I'm just looking. Absolutely ridiculous. Whatever. We're letting it go. That game's done.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. No, it's not done. It's not done. Nor is my bank account. Anyways, so yesterday I also was on the Knights. Lost that game in OT. Had a 6-unit on that play. Absolutely ridiculous. Can't score a damn goal to save their lives. Dropped that play yesterday. Did cash my NBA selection. So today, back in action. I have a 4-unit NHL play. I have a 4-unit NBA play. 4-unit MLB play, and a 4-unit prop play. Actually, a 2-pack in props. I have a 4-unit and a MLB game prop 2-unit play. So we have action across all sports. Looking to fire some winners here today, Craig.
Yeah, I took a rare day off from baseball today. I didn't love this card today. Very short amount of games. 6 games, and a bunch of them early. I got a couple that I'm going to sprinkle here as free plays, but my top play lost with Karl Anthony Towns yesterday. I had the over prop for his points and rebounds. He'd been killing it. And then he gets in foul trouble early in that game. And it kind of like circled down the drain from there. That Celtics team really came to play. I'm interested to see how this next game goes. Because can you imagine if it gets to game 7, boys? If it's game 7 without Jason Tatum, the line's going to be about that 5 to 6 point game again. And, I think the Knicks are in trouble. Knicks have to win this next game if they want to win the series. I do not think they're winning in Boston in game 7. But we'll talk about that when we get to the NBA. Let's start with Major League Baseball today. But don't forget, we haven't get that DocSports.com/free60 for all new users. You get a free $60 account just to check us out. It's $30 per day per sport. So if you like, say, Knicks play for today in NHL or whatever sport, you go there, you buy that. and you can buy a different capper as well for the other $30. You can also use that if you want into a longer term. So it's like $99 per week per sport. So if you want all the NBA picks from a capper, you can always use that towards that, or any package is good towards. If you're an existing user, let's go to the grid, and that's where you can, of course, get in on all your favorite cappers. Okay, let's talk Major League Baseball. A lot of early games today. Griffin, let's start with you. What do you like here as a free play to kick us off?
Yeah, Craig, we can talk about this game coming up here in the next 2 hours. We've got the Tampa Bay Rays rolling into Toronto to play the Blue Jays. Right now, Tampa Bay currently comes into this matchup 19-23 on the year, 4th in the AL East. Then you've got Toronto playing .500 baseball with a record of 21-21, 2nd in the AL East. Getting into the pitching matchup, this is where it's interesting. Kevin Gausman gets the start for this Toronto team right now. He's got 45.1 innings of work, 40 strikeouts, and 11 walks. Kevin Gausman is known for his strikeout to walk diversification. This guy paints corners. He's a very good pitcher. But we currently have a high total here, sitting at 8.5. Zach Littell gets the start for Tampa Bay. This guy's a liability year in, year out. I can never trust him. He's already 2-5 on there. He's got a 4.4 ERA. I don't trust this guy. Tampa Bay is currently averaging 3.9 runs a game offensively. They can't score runs. Toronto, they are 11th in batting average, and I've been talking about this all year long. Toronto is getting guys on base. They're continuously hitting. They're getting guys on base, but they're 14th in 21st in slugging percentage and 26th in home runs. They are not scoring runs. Give me the under 8.5 runs in this matchup. I think we're going to see a low total in this matchup. Tampa Bay can't score runs to save their life, and Toronto, as I just mentioned, they can't knock runs in. Give me the under at 8.5 in this one, Craig.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Gausman's favored by this much, though. That's. I mean, they're a 500 team. I don't know if you're a 500 team unless you have a true ace, and he's not an ace, in my opinion. That you lay minus 185. I think the line opened like minus 160, right, Robert? It was like
yes, it was minus 160. There's no way I was going to play the run line. That was one of only 2 games I was looking at today, and I just checked the score. The game that I wanted to release that I should have, obviously now knowing the score, was Cincinnati over the White Sox. I think the White Sox have won 3 games in a row, something like that. Like watching the White Sox on a winning streak is like watching a baby smoking a cigarette. It just doesn't look, just doesn't look right. So I should have jumped back on Cincinnati. That was one of the few bets I lost yesterday with them. So I like that. I am going to say for my free play, I'm going to keep it very, very simple and just take Houston, Texas under 7 runs. We have Hunter Brown. We have Jacob deGrom, 2 excellent starters. But more importantly, Texas just is not scoring. They're not hitting the ball. They haven't hit the ball all season long. It's a problem. Like they just had that 3-game series with Colorado, and I think they only managed like 14 runs in those games, maybe 16 runs, something like that. That's like everybody's scoring 30 runs in a 3-game set with Colorado. So the fact that they even struggled against that terrible pitching staff lets me know that like there are serious problems in that Texas lineup right now. And I don't see that changing soon. Also, their bullpen has been a little bit better than I expected this year. They're number 1 in the major league in WHIP. So I like what Texas is doing pitching-wise. They can't hit it all. 2 great starters. I don't know who's behind the mound, but I won't be surprised if this is a 3-1, 4-2 type of game. So let's take the under in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, Houston, I'd said all year long, I think they're about a 500 team this year. I think Texas is about that same team. That's where they're going to end up this year with a couple games one way or the other. I think Houston's a play here, though. Who do you trust? I don't trust Jacob deGrom. Is Jacob deGrom still a 2.3 ERA pitcher? I don't think so. I think he's more like mid-3s. That's where he's going to end. Which, hey, at this point of his career, after the injuries he's had, if he's in the low 3s to mid-3s, I think you've got to be very happy if you're Texas. But I don't think he's in the low 2s like he is now. I do think Hunter Brown could be in the mid-2s, though, even though he's way under that right now.
I kind of disagree. Like, I still like how deGrom is throwing the ball. Like, his fastball still got plenty of pop. He's still getting lots of movement. No, I think he's going to be a dominator still. But, I mean, I'm a Mets fan, so I've seen this with Jacob deGrom, like, his whole career. I don't know what it is about the guy, but his teams just do not score runs for him. He had that one season where he had, like, I'm going to butcher the number, but, like, a sub-2 ERA, and he had like 8 wins, or he was like a 500 pitchers. The Mets averaged like 1.5 runs per game or something for him. Guys just don't put runs on the board when he's pitching. I don't know if it's because he's so good that they're like, oh, we don't have to do much. We have deGrom on the mound. I can't explain it, but I think he has still got some pretty dominating stuff. I just don't think he's going to get any run support from a bad lineup.
Well, they're always facing, they're always matched up against the aces, though. So it's like it's ace versus ace usually. So that has a lot to do with that you don't get the run support. What do you think about the first 5 innings under in this one, Robert? I kind of thought the first 5 innings was interesting.
What is that, 3.5 or is it 3?
Yeah, 3.5. I saw it at 3.5.
Like I said, like I just am preferring. Well, that's not a bad call because if this is going to be a low-scoring game, there's always the possibility that it gets the extra innings, right? And then I can't tell you how many unders I've had blown already this year from games going to extra innings, and then there's like 6 runs scored in that. So that, from a value perspective, that's not bad. I liked the 7 for the full game just because, like I said, Texas's bullpen is really underrated and undervalued right now. Like their bullpen has been very, very good this year. So. Something fluky happens early. I don't know. But I think either way, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. What were you going to say, Griff?
Oh, no, I was just going to touch up on, I don't think the Texas Rangers' offense is as bad as you guys are saying it is. The problem for this lineup has been Corey Seager. Seager's been hurt for the majority of the season, and that's the centerpiece of this entire offense. When Seager plays, they produce runs, and Seager's been playing as of late, and they've been producing more runs. So I do actually think Texas is a lot better than I guess we're talking about, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I also think there's going to be a much heavier race in this division in the AL West. I don't think either of these two teams are 500 teams by any means. I think both of these teams are definitely playoff caliber teams. Both of them have the both starting pitching rotation to get it done. And Houston, on top of that, they just started off slow, and they do it every year. Last year, they started off slow. This year, they started off slow. I think both of these teams are going to eventually erupt in the AL West. Seattle, I believe, is way overtalked. I don't think they're going to keep producing runs. I'm going on a rant right now, boys. Take it back over, Craig. I'm going on a rant right now. Hey. But I still think Texas is going to be a very good team in this AL West, and agreed along with Houston.
I mean, they're only averaging 3.5 runs per game.
No Seager.
Texas. And they're only, but the positive is they're only allowing 3.5 runs per game. Yeah. So I guess that's you glass half full kind of thing. Nick, what do you like here? Save us here.
Yeah, let's look at that later game. We got the Athletics and the Los Angeles Dodgers here. In game 1 of this series, the Athletics, man, they put a beat down on these Dodgers 11-1. And then yesterday, the Dodgers turned around, came back. They were down early in that game, finished 9-3. They won that match. Vito will be on the mound here for the Athletics. He's 2-3 on the season. His last outing, it was against the New York Yankees. There he went 5.1 innings of work, 8 hits, and 3 earned runs, I believe, and got the loss in that one. And for the Dodgers, May was supposed to start here, but they made a pitching change. It's Matt Sauer on the mound. He's 1-0 here. He only has 11.2 innings of work, but he has 8 Ks in that game against the Arizona Diamondbacks there. He looked very sharp, and I just don't see this Los Angeles Dodgers team losing a series against the Athletics, even though the Athletics, especially on their offensive side, they've been great. They're averaging 4.5 runs here per game. They have the 3rd best team batting average here in baseball, but this Dodgers team, they're number 1 here in team batting average, and they are 3rd in runs per game. I think they get this series here at home against a pitcher here in Vito, who's been good, but he's been getting hit over his last couple outings. So I would take the Los Angeles Dodgers on the run line here again against the Athletics at home tonight, Craig.
Well, the Athletics are averaging or allowing 5.3, I think, per game. I remember reading that yesterday, and I was like, yeah, you would have thought if the Athletics were even close to 500 was going to be that their pitching staff would have been a little better than this, but it has not been good. But their offense is better than I thought. I will say that. The Athletics. I still think until you take you have to have a team, a city name in front of this. You can't be calling them Athletics for what? 3? Is it 3 years before they end up in Vegas?
3 years, yeah. I still, in all my write-ups and everything, I still just call them Oakland. I'm going with Oakland until something else pops up. I'm not putting over the Athletics, but I will say, some of their numbers, not some of their numbers, I think most of their numbers are inflated because of their ballpark. I think the sports books and a lot of bettors were really slow. This was something I pounded early, was home games over for them. I think people have been really slow to adjust to how the ball carries in that park, especially compared to how much of a pitcher's park they used to be. Now we're really seeing it. Their old stadium was such a massive disadvantage to batters that now that they're playing in just a replacement level stadium, we'll call it, their offensive numbers have shot up. So I will admit, I've been slow to adjust to how good Oakland is. I thought that they were going to be the 4th or 5th worst team in baseball. They're not. They're hitting the ball. They're playing some pretty good baseball, and there's a ton of value on them as an underdog. I hope they get pounded by the Dodgers tonight, because then I think there's going to be even more value over them for the next week, because they will have just finished up series against Seattle, the Yankees, and the Dodgers. So even if they end up going 3-6 in those 9 games, no problem. People are going to think, oh, the A's, they just aren't very good. It's a pretty good team. Like, again, they're over 500 right now. And with the way Houston and Texas are playing, I think that they can draft off those 2 teams and be in contention at least past the All-Star break, which is more than any of us would have expected from them at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do it with similar to what they did in the past, because you imagine if you try to get a free agent and you show them where they're having to play for the next few years, and be like, I don't think so. And I got to pay California taxes. I don't think so. So the Athletics are going to have to do it with through their minor league system. All right, let's talk the NHL. NHL, I was a little disappointed last night. I thought the Vegas game was good. I mean, but Vegas did what they did all the series long. Nick, you want to talk about? I mean, the Toronto game we already mentioned. They just didn't show up. But Vegas, defense showed up yesterday, but they just couldn't put it in the net for them.
Yeah, just could not finish at all whatsoever. And I actually had the under smaller play in that, a 2 unit on the under 6.5. I didn't expect there to be goals, but I didn't expect it to be a 0-0 ball game there game going into overtime there. But just Vegas couldn't capitalize on their opportunities. They had a couple of shots that hit the post there, but just couldn't get it done. And obviously Edmonton advances. But we got this game tonight, and it's same here. The Winnipeg Jets, I mean, they have to win this game. They've been dominant all season long at home, besides their last game against Dallas there. I think they do get this one here at home. It's a must-win game. They've been great in front of their home fans, and I think that Dallas will wrap it up in game 6 there back at home. So for tonight, I just think this Winnipeg Jets team will get the job done with a 3-2 lead going back to Dallas here tonight, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas obviously winning game 1 in that close 3-2 game. Since then, really haven't been that close this series. So I think Winnipeg will win tonight. I think the crowd will be amazing tonight. I think they'll get them home. But, there's a lot of pressure on Dallas going back home, because if you end up with game 7 on the road in Winnipeg, I don't like Dallas' chances. So it'll be interesting what we see in that one. Any opinion on this, Nick?
Griffin?
Griffin, sorry, hockey.
I have a side play on this matchup, so I'll just rip this right up. I'm on the over 5.5 in this game. If Winnipeg's gonna win this game, they have to score goals. If Dallas is gonna win this game, this game's gonna go under. It's gonna be a defensive war. Pretty straightforward. If you like Dallas, take the under. If you like Winnipeg, take the over.
Now, this first game, Carolina, Washington, what am I missing here? Robert, do you have any opinion on this one? Because to me, I don't think Washington should be favored, but this is crazy. Plus 145, I see it right now.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of my mentality. I personally bet on Toronto yesterday, in part on the strength of, hey, I trusted you, Nick. I trusted you, Nick. I think we're better off when we disagree, right? But, I trust you. It's the same idea, though, right? Toronto at home, plus money value. There's not that big of a discrepancy. We gave out a free play in one of the earlier games. I think it was game 2 in this series on Washington, under the same theory that it's just value. It's just a value play. They shouldn't be plus 150. They're a playoff team. They're one of the best teams in the East. They're at home. Their backs are against the wall. Throw everything out there that you want. I just feel like the number is off. So I would take Washington just from a value standpoint. But for me, it's a stay away, because they just aren't playing well. Value is value, right, on the number. But you also have to trust your eyes, okay? That's why you can't just handicap by the stats and the numbers and the this and that. And when I look at Washington right now, they just look like a team that's ready for it to end. They just don't – they just aren't playing with a lot of edge to me right now, where, talking about Winnipeg, you guys know I don't like Winnipeg. I thought that they were kind of a soft number 1 seed in the West. I'm with you that I still think that they could come back and win this series, right? They are still playing with that edge, and they are still playing well enough where I could see them forcing a game 7 or something like that. I just don't see that with Washington right now. So for me, it's stay away. I don't want to lay a goal and a half on the road in a playoff game. So I'm not taking their opponent, but No.
I agree with you, Robert. I just think Washington's playing bad right now, and it's a huge mismatch. I said it most recently. There's a mismatch on the offensive and defensive side, and that's why we're seeing these lines so juiced. Carolina again at -170. I think the best bet in this one is to go the three-way money lines, 60-minute regulation with Carolina just to take them win. I think they win this game straight up in regulation. I don't think this game's going into OT. And as you just mentioned, Washington's just not playing good. They're just not playing good. They're not playing competitive, and they're getting outplayed game in, game out. I like Carolina 60-minute regulation in this one.
You just don't. I just feel like Washington's going to play one really good game here tonight. Like I think they're going to throw it kind of like the Celtics did last night, where it's like, hey, listen, we might not win this series, but we ain't going down losing at home. And that's why I like Washington here. Not a huge play, but I think Washington can get the job done here. Now let's talk the NBA for tonight. And like I said, there's not going to be any more double game nights. So for us basketball purists in the NBA, that's sad. But that also means we're just moving on. We're closer to June and the NBA Finals. Can the Thunder find a way to end this tonight? Anybody have let's start with you, Robert. Can they end this tonight on the road, or is the championship and Jokic the best player in the world? Can he pull one out here?
I 100% think that they can end it tonight, but I really don't want any part of laying almost 5 points on the road. They are the better team. They're going to win this series. They are. They're the better team. They have too many bodies to throw at Jokic over a 7-game series. They have been able to neutralize him somewhat, and Denver just doesn't have the supporting cast, whether it's because of injuries, the coach. I don't know what you want to say, but Oklahoma City's just a better team, and they are going to win the series. They 100% can win tonight. Now, again, I'm not in a rush to lay points on the road. Even though road teams have been very good in the NBA, just from a value perspective, I can't do it with Oklahoma City. In this game, what I'm looking at, though, I like Alex Caruso, points plus assists plus rebounds, either 13.5 or 14.5. I've seen both out there. He's getting a lot more minutes for Oklahoma City. Like, he's not a guy that jumps out at you when you watch. He just does a lot of little things. You know what I mean? He'll go out and score 9 points and have 4 or 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He just does a little bit of everything. He has playoff experience. I thought that number was a little low for him. The two guys I've been cleaning up with in this series are Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein, who, again, is just a lot better than people realize or give him credit for. But his number is now up to 24.5 for points plus rebounds and assists. I actually like the under there. I think that the value has gone the other way after a couple strong games. But yeah, I kind of covered a lot of ground there. I don't know if I answered your question the way you were looking for it, but I just don't love the game either way.
Yeah, my top play in this game is going to be on the total, because the side scares me to death either way. Like, if you said the Thunder ran away and just buried them, wouldn't be shocked. If you said Denver outplayed them for 3.5 quarters in last game, and the Thunder just had to play basically a good 4 or 5 minutes, and they still win. They just have so much talent. And to be honest, we would talk them up all year long. Celtics and the Cavs and the Thunder. And it very might be where the Thunder never have to play the other two good teams, which would be crazy. So any opinions, Nick or Griffin, on this NBA game tonight?
Yeah, I would just
Go ahead,
all right. I would just say tease OKC Thunder, tease them down, and tease the total down. Make it a little 2-team parlay there for you, 2-team teaser. I believe OKC wins this game outright. I don't love laying the 4.5 points just because we've seen how competitive Denver's been, especially at home. We know the altitude. We're getting later on in the series. These teams are exhausted, but OKC does have the depth. I mean, they've got nearly 9 starters on this team, realistically. I think OKC is the better team, and you said it yourself, Craig. All they needed was 1 quarter to prove themselves, and they outplayed that living hell out of them. So I like OKC to win this game straight up, so I tease them down. I think this total's at a flat number right now. 73% of the money is on the under right now. I do think this is an underplay, so I'd tease that down as well to 212.5.
Yeah, Denver needs, you know what you're going to get out of probably Jokic, Murray, and probably Gordon. They need Russell Westbrook or Watson. They need one of these guys to have one of those, where Buddy Hield had it in Game 7 of the last series. They need someone to get like an unexpected 20, 25 points, like where they hit 3 or 4 threes, and play really good. I just don't know. Russell Westbrook could be the only guy, because the rest of those guys, I guess Christian Braun maybe. But Nick, any opinion on this NBA before we go?
Yeah, I'm looking at that total, that 217.5 here. The last game, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they shot 50% from the field and then 41% from the perimeter. The Nuggets, on the other hand, they only shot 41% from the field and 28% from the perimeter. If they want to stay alive here tonight against the Thunder, they are going to have to shoot the ball a lot better from the field and most definitely here a lot better from the perimeter. The Nuggets, they dominated on second chance on the offensive side. They had that category completely doubled, I want to say, in their last game here. I think that the Nuggets with these points, I would lean more towards the Nuggets with the points, but I love this over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. The Nuggets know that they have to score here to keep up with the Thunder. So I would go the over 217.5 points.
All right. So, Nick, we're in disagreement here. What do you think about the OKC team total 11.5 or 111? 111.
See, I'm on the Nuggets. I lean towards that Nuggets team. So, I mean, it's going to be very, very close. I would lean towards that under on that 111.5 because I think the Nuggets will get around 115 to 120 here tonight.
Well, I like that. I'm with you on that over. I definitely like that over as well. It's making me. I want to go back and look at the numbers. I don't have numbers to back this up, but just in my experience as a handicapper, I feel like the longer NBA series go in the playoffs, the more high scoring they get towards the end. That seems counterintuitive. Everybody thinks like, oh, defense is going to ramp up in game 5, game 6, game 7. No, yeah, it usually goes the other way. Like teams that are down in the series, they get desperate, right? And when you're desperate, you get a little bit more aggressive offensively and leaves you open to like more counterattacking and fast breaking going the other way. That's what I see with Denver tonight. I don't think that they're going to try and turn this into like a grinder wrestling match. Like I think that the tempo here is going to be pretty good tonight. And I think both these teams are going to score. And also the reason that games tend to go over more the later in the series is you get a feel for what the other team is doing defensively, right? Like the same guys are guarding the same guys. And after you've been seeing someone for 3 or 4 or 5 games or whatever, you got to know what they're going to do, right? And you know how to beat them. So I'm with you. I think that this is going to be one of the higher scoring games of the series.
I mean, OKC really has not played great this series. They did in game 2, but they have not put, other than game 2, had not put another complete game together. And if you'd have said the Nuggets could force even to get this far, I would have been no way. I just thought Oklahoma City offense, but they have not shot the ball well. The one thing, they lived on the foul line, especially SGA all year long. He hasn't got those calls, nor has a lot of guys in the playoffs. We've seen a lot more physical play in the playoffs, which I'm okay with, but let's just call it like this all year long. Like, to me, if we're going to call it like this in the playoffs, let's let them be physical all year long. Let's go back to the 80s, 90s style of basketball. To me, it's like completely different game when you watch Oklahoma City play now. SGA just went to the foul line every time down the court. He was like James Harden back when he won the MVP that year. He hasn't gotten those calls this series. It'll be a good how this game's called tonight. Probably a lot will go on.
Tell you what, not sure how much you guys watched of the Knicks Celtics game last night, but again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but the refs called that game a lot closer than they had the rest of the series. Like it felt like they wanted a game 6 in New York. I mean,
Boston 5 fouls in a quarter.
Right. Boston ended up beating them by 30. It didn't matter, right? But like some of the calls early, especially in that first half, like even the Boston guys were like, yeah, okay. Like, I don't know. What are the refs going to do in game 6 in New York? That's going to play a role, unfortunately, like it does in all these games.
I'm not saying they're better without Tatum, because I would be crazy talk.
Statistically, they are,
but they're 9-2 now on the year without him.
In the movie Moneyball, Johnny Damon. I mean, they got rid of the whole team. Statistically, they were better, maybe.
Right.
Like I don't know if they can beat the
statistically, their offensive efficiency is higher without Tatum in the games that he hasn't played this year.
Like I think they can beat the Knicks still. Like I still think they have a chance to beat this Knicks. Now, it's going to be close. Obviously, game 6 is going to determine it. They can beat the Pacers without him. They can't beat the Thunder, I don't think, without him. I think that's when that's going to be like the Thunder are, I mean, look, they got to get past this series. That was they experience joking. It's like the dude is the best player in the world. As much as people want to say Giannis, and some people want to say SGA, some people want to say Luka. It's not close. Look at his numbers. I mean, he's putting up numbers that, I mean, what he had, 42-22 or 42-25 when he had that overtime game just like about a month ago. Like, that's just numbers. And it's not like he just does that once. He does this all the time. He's putting up triple doubles. Like, he averaged a triple double this year. For a big guy, that's just crazy. So I'm excited to watch this game tonight. I hope we can see force a game 7. That would be awesome. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. All right, guys. So that's what we have for your picks for today for Docs Daily. Don't forget tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you check out the Premium Plus right now. That is a $2,700 value. How do you get to that? It's $49.99 a month. You get 3 Premium Plus plays every day. Plus, you get level 1 included in that. That's Indian Cowboys plays, which together that ends up being 200 plays, a little more. But those 3 plays every day, they're 2, 3, 4 unit plays directly from our experts. Those cost $30 pretty much each. So 30 times 3, 90 times 30, $2,700. So basically, you get to test us out for $49.99 a month. So make sure you check that out. Click the link in the description to get in on it. And make sure you follow us, like and subscribe, and we'll be back again tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Same back channel, as they say. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck, and hope all your bets are winning ones.